Hi, this is Tradu with my 8th VOD review kill video commentary thingy for Manifold Omega on Mythic as Shadow. This is going to be Dimensius, the All-Devouring. You're going to be playing Voidweaver on this fight. A few people have played Archon and it's okay, but I'm pretty sure Voidweaver is just better because it does more damage during the burn phase at the start of phase 3, and phase 3 damage is realistically the only thing that matters. The reason for that is Archon takes longer to get set up. Like, you won't have your Halo stacks on the boss, or even have cast Halo in time to really do much. Whereas Voidweaver just starts blasting almost immediately. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Voidweaver. Then on the talent side here, on the class talents, nothing special. I have Angel's Mercy. I don't remember why. I think I was trying to cook some precast it for one mechanic to have it for our next one in phase 1, but phase 1 doesn't matter, nothing hurts, and I don't know. So yeah, I just have it for no reason. Yeah, that's about it for the talent. Nothing super special. On the cooldown planny side, whatever, defensive wise, you want to disperse the second devour, the one where you gateway. And then what I've been doing is Desperate Prayer for the big smashes. This one, Massive Smash, meaning I have it for this one and the third one. And then Fade just whenever you feel like it. That's basically it for that phase. In phase 2, on the first platform, I used Desperate Prayer if I got one of the lines, because those hurt quite a bit. And Fade just whatever. I fade to land from my flying mount because it's an easy way to dismount because it's not on a bar that gets changed to dragon flying abilities. And then on the second platform, I Desperate Prayer, Fade, and Flash Heal when I soak my orb, which is this one, Star Shards. Because, yeah, it hurts a bit and I stand in my puddle for like a second. So just nice to have defensive for. And then I disperse the pushback at the end of the platform, going into last phase where you're just like falling off the edge or whatever, because the star shard dot plus the wind really hurts. But even if you're not soaking one of the star shards, it's just nice to disperse there because you're realistically not pressing it anytime soon anyway. And then last phase, nothing super special. I Desperate Prayer the star explosions, which is I'm not actually sure. Cosmic Collapse, I believe. Maybe. But yeah, I basically Desperate Prayer twice. And with Dispersion, you can technically live not standing in the big circle with the gravity. It really, 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 really hurts, but you can live it with Dispersion if you disperse the 5-second stun. So that's an option if you can't make it into the soak or if you want to give space to other people. Yeah, DPS cooldown wise, it's a mess because phase 1 doesn't matter. First platform on progress early on will matter, but then it also stops mattering. Second platform, you don't have any cooldowns for anyway, so who cares? And then last phase, you press everything for the burn and then on cooldown until the boss dies. For early progress, you press cooldowns on cooldown in phase 1. It lines up pretty nicely with Dark Ascension during the Massive Smash cast, so you are torrenting for the movement afterwards, for the DA at like 1 minute. The next one is just a bit annoying and a mess and whatever, and yeah. Like, nothing is happening, you're not hitting anything, but you've just moved from gravity. You might be floating in the air and can't press cooldowns, so it's annoying. Then here on the platform, what I did was Void Torrent immediately as we land, and then at 4 minutes, I PI and DA and stuff, which is the second set of ads during the pushback, basically. Yeah, and then on this platform, the second one, I DA at the beginning, and torrent during the pushback. And then it's all back again here, and I press on cooldown. So, yep. That's it. This is a really good fight for playing RuneScape as well, by the way. So on pull, you crash both sides, you DPS the boss, you stand in the middle, you press buttons. Fading after the blast, and then during the Devouring Plague GCD is nice, or you can do it after the Mind Flay like I do here, it doesn't really matter. You just want to fade the Devour because you might as well. And then here, because we are so far ahead on DPS, I powered shield our Enhancement Shaman, I flash heal, and I press my Desperate Prayer. During the knockback, you want to crash the close ad, because that also hits the boss. You want to hardcast Vampiric Touch on the far ad, and then you just want to hit it. You have Void Torrent here for the move towards the soak, which is pretty nice. And then here, I end up backing up, so I don't actually end up getting any knockups. But yeah, if you do one of the mass things, you just walk in the thing and help them. If you get the far back soak, far back knockup, you can tab out to RuneScape and do another inventory of anglerfish in Hosidius kitchen. Works really nicely with the timing. If you get the close one, you can't. Here again, I get a rescue on the second and fourth knockback. And then again, crash, close ad, crash far ad, D8, DP torrent. Then again, because we're ahead, I press powered shield on the Enhancement Shaman. I usually flash heal as well, just for fun. I press my halo for healing. Yeah, this phase is just not enjoyable. You just don't get to play the game. And you want to press Dispersion on 1 second on the cast on Devour, because that way it lasts through the full Devour, and yeah, it's nice. And here you can see I once again powered shield. I do some shadow crashes on the ads, spread out, kill them. You have assigned spots here. In theory, you have a raid plan probably. We ended up just naturally kind of feeling it out and positioning a bit. It mostly follows the raid plan, but not strictly. And then here again, just pull down the people. Don't do too much damage because you don't want to push early. You want to push as late as possible to make sure everybody has cooldowns. Which is for the soak here. Like during that, you want to push. And here, once again, just flash shield, powered shield a bit. I don't have fade for it anymore. I also don't powered shield. I'm shocked that Word Up doesn't die. Surely my powered shield is the difference maker normally. Yeah, again, you want to push this before the bar is gone, basically, before the soak explodes. And here again, during this RP, as soon as you get pulled up, you can do another inventory of anglerfish in Hosidius. I unfortunately maxed cooking before progress was over, so I couldn't do that. I instead started identifying Quam, or degriming, I guess, because the game is for casuals now. There's no more unidentified herbs. But yeah, you just fly. There is technically a skip you can do where you fly close to the beam, but I don't think it's worth risking. The first platform is a joke. And here you can see, like I mentioned, torrent immediately as I land. I VE and fade just because you take a bit of damage at the start. Then you crash the ads, and you, if you have a line, you spread out with it. Ideally, you really want to have a line that's close to where you're going, because as Shadow, you suck at moving. I get rescued across for the first crossing on each platform, so I just have to make sure I'm in line with the gap, because otherwise I might get rescued through the guys and die. And you can see I press my cooldowns, then my raid leader says stop hitting the big ad too much, which I mostly ignore. It's a bit sad because your rift sometimes fades if you stop DPS, which means less damage for the small ads, which are the thing you want to kill here. And you can see, just gate over. If you get the gravities, you spread them in a triangle, so melee here, ranged where I am, and then healers here. At least that's what we did. If your insanity isn't full, you can send both shadow crashes before flying here. And then here I do a skip. There's 2 rings above me that I'm skipping, I'm aiming roughly for the black line or the purple just above it. Hit the third ring, I believe this is. This saves you about 3 seconds on the flight, which is pretty nice. But yeah, you can Shadow Crash, you can Power Word Shield while running towards the Mounty thing. Both crash charges will be back by the time you land. And here again, I drop off my mount with Fade. I DA Torrent and Vampiric Embrace just to heal a bit. And then you bait the orbs just to the left of the ad that's going to spawn here. We have a marker for it on this pull. For some of the pulls previously we didn't. And again, crash the ads. You can dot the Void Warden over here as well. It heals to full after the first one, but yeah. And then here you can see we spread in the gravity. I'm close to the Void Warden here. That's my position. And then the Void Warden needs to die. We go up for the push. We get pushed. It's quite nice with the Torrent. You can cover most of the movement with that. And then here for these orbs, I'm soaking one. So I'm soaking the one on the left because I'm Void Elf and can just port over. So I go over, I press some defensives, I flash heal just because I can. And then as soon as this number is gone, the rock spawn, you can take the Void Elf and go over. If you're not Void Elf, you can probably make it to the gateway and take that over as well, but I'm Void Elf, so I did it this way. And then for the pushback, you can see I'm already in pain, but disperse the pushback. Ideally, don't press Health Pot, Health Stone for it because you want those for last phase. During this, you can do another inventory of Anglerfish. And then when you land, here you're going to do cooldown slightly differently than usual because the thing lasts 15 seconds. So that's the same as PI, and your pot lasts even longer. So what I end up doing is crash PI pot. I skip the Shadow Fiend because it's not actually a great GCD. I don't know if that's actually correct, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then go into CDs as normal. It might technically be correct to cancel the Void Rift for the double damage on the explosion. I'm not sure. It's probably close between that and getting another Void Blast or two. And then here for the rings, you want to make sure to soak them as early as you possibly can. You can see I walk into that one. Here I'm a bit late. I have like half a second of gap. But the reason is that way you don't need to move out for the third ring, which lets you be in position for the Devour. I'm in the second star. Our raid leader drops a marker in between, and then we just position based on that. This is where Desperate Prayer, run over, press a bunch of bad GCDs just to walk over. And for the first pull, range struggle against it, and then spread out in our circle. And then you go into your second CDs with your DA Torrent, and then you have circles again. For these circles, you have the dead planet black holy things, so it's a bit harder to get the circle immediately, but you still want to get it as early as possible. Same thing here, go in as quickly as you can, and then third one. Here we do a different formation with the gravities, where there's a gravity that pops just before the pull. So as soon as the gravity has popped, you can start moving against the pull from the tank, because with my position, it was very easy to get dragged into the boss, especially if the angle was slightly off, or the, either the tank or the circle angle was off. But yeah, and here again, try to get the vulnerable as soon as you can, get into the second ring, and that way again, here, you take the third one, are very close. And in this one, it's hands off keyboard, because the gravity pops during the pull. So you just take your position, you do the gravity and the pull. And then we have the second Devour, same thing again, go into the second star in my case, you'll be assigned to something, just go there. And again, Desperate Prayer, and then you blast a lot of burst with your cooldowns. Then these gravities go into the gaps between the stars. I'm meant to be in the front left of it, which is inside the star, which is unfortunate. So I try to wiggle into it. I miss it. I disperse, which should save me, but unfortunately I'm in the path of the star and get eaten. Not ideal, don't do that. We have reses, so I'll get resed in a sec. I hold it until after the rings because I am worried that I will just die to the ring if I take the res, because I don't know how much health I have. Yeah, like I spawned with 80. I would have lived one ring, so I could have taken it slightly earlier. But then, yeah, hit the boss really hard. Most guilds end up playing one more set of mechanics, which is another set of gravities and tank pulls, which you play the same as the previous one, where it's spread between the dead stars, and then you get pulled in, and then you just kill the boss. Maybe play another set of rings, but the boss should really be dying. And yeah, that's about it for Dimensius, the boss with the highest uptime of playing RuneScape during a WoW boss fight that I've had so far. So yeah.